today we're here to fight for the first place.
今天的意义比较大，因为今天就已经确定了我们是前3强。
Winning today is really important because it gives you a lot better chance of playing the 8th place LCS team.
我们平时跟他们训练赛还有比赛也打过很多次，也有输过，也有赢过。
我们跟他们在就是比赛中已经相遇过很多次，对他们这些很了解，觉得他们中单是一个不错的点，然后我们可能会针对一下他们中单或者打野来对。
So the last time we played against them, they effectively took all of our blue buffs, so I was pretty much useless every single game.
They have good individual players, they have a good work ethic, they practice a lot, and they're all individually really talented, and they also play well as a team.
我们的首先是我们已经稳进了季后赛前3，我们还是希望能取得明天的胜利，这样的话，就是对我们自身在这边的可能是一个证明。
If Cloud9 Eclipse took first in EU and Cloud9 took first in LCS and NA, why can't we take first in the Cook Series in NA?
Welcome back to the 2014 North American Challenger Series Spring Playoffs, and it's now finally time for the finals. Hey guys, I'm David Freak Turley, alongside me for the championship match, Sam, Kobe, Hartman, Kensler. How's it going?
Great, Freak.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Now, of course, before we get into the battle between the best teams in the Challenger Series, we need to talk about the battle between the best teams in the world at the 2014 All-Star event that's taking place in Paris from May 8th through May 11th. During this year's All-Star event, the top squads from the GPL, LPL, Korea, and the LCS, both NA and EU, will compete in the All-Star Invitational, a mid-season tournament to crown the top team on the planet.
Right, but the team tournament isn't the only LOL esports fun this year. Fans from around the world got a chance to vote for their favorite players that they wanted to see compete in the All-Star Challenge. And today, we revealed the first event, the Hexakill Challenge match. And here is where the players get a chance to have their voices heard, because just head over to loesports.com, and right now you can actually vote for your 2 League of Legends players that you want to see compete as the 6th member of the All-Star squads.
So, yeah, I know who Messiah, what? Sorry, I got the words backwards. Messiah, Toys, and Shushay are repeated, but, you know, who's Jat? Like, who wants to play with him? Nobody, right?
Scrub.
Yeah, lame. All right, okay, so Kobe, it's time to get serious. It's time for the first ever North American Challenger Series Finals, a best of 5 for the title between LMQ and Cloud9 Tempest. Now, it kind of feels like deja vu because, well, 2 weeks ago, these guys were just in the hot seat, taking to the Rift for the 2nd Spring Series crown. Now, based on the results, LMQ's got to be feeling pretty good about their chances today.
Yeah, they certainly do. LMQ crushed Cloud9 in that Series 2 finals. They won in every aspect of the game, from KDA that was more than 6 times higher than that of Cloud9 Tempest, to a CS score that was almost more than double that of their opponents.
Yeah, pretty strong performance overall, but that's kind of just been par for the course for LMQ this spring. After the 2-game sweep of Curse Academy yesterday, they've now got a record of 16-1 in the Challenger Series to go along with the Series 1 title, the Series 2 title, and a chance at the overall championship today. So LMQ, they've 2-0'd Curse Academy, but Rux and crew had them up against the ropes in Game 2, revealing that, you know, C9T has the chance to beat them. They're not invincible.
Yeah, if Cloud9 is going to take out the godlike LMQ and land a blow on their Achilles here, that blow is probably going to be fired from Cloud9 Tempest's AD carry, Altec. Yesterday, he carried his team pretty well. It went past the heavily favored Complexity Black with a barrage of missiles as Corki and cleaned up the team fights for triple kill after triple kill. Now that Altec did not have a double-digit KDA against LMQ when they met in the Series 2 finals, though, he did do something that few others have against LMQ this spring, and that was have more kills than deaths.
Yeah.
That's something for him. And while we have to congratulate him for the feat, he's definitely going to have to play a bigger role in the team scoreline today if Cloud9 Tempest wants to shock the world and take a series off of LMQ, which nobody's been able to do yet.
Yeah, and join the other Cloud9 teams as the best in their respective tournaments. It's kind of up to them now to uphold that banner. So now with that in everyone's minds, let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's Challenger Series Grand Finals. Spawning on the blue side is LMQ, Ackerman in the top lane, NoName in the jungle, XiaoWeiXiao in the mid lane, Vasilii on AD carry, and more at support.
And on the red side, it's Cloud9 Tempest. Up top is Yazuki in the jungle, Kez, mid Bischu, AD carry Altec, and support Gleebglarbu.
So it's going to be an interesting matchup to look for. Now, I know we talked about the last time that these two teams fought, but it felt like C9T are a team that are actually more affected by nerves. I know when Jat and I cast them yesterday, that was a kind of a topic of discussion for us, but last time around, Bischu was sick. He was actually having a really rough day at the time, so he underperformed as well, and you heard in the video talking about his blue buffs getting stolen. But also C9T looked so much better yesterday compared to how they looked in the Spring 2 finals, that I feel like they're coming into their own a bit more, and they're looking a lot better than normal as a team.
Yeah, definitely in that first game. It looks like they had pretty much everything planned out, very clean execution. They did lax a little bit in the second game, so we'll have to see if Cloud9 can take advantage of that. LMQ did say that they're going to be focusing on the mid lane of Cloud9, even though in the previous series, as we said, Altec was a really big part in that. He brought a lot of damage with Corki. Corki might even be getting some bans here. Went back to that champion over and over.
Yeah. I think we could really see it. I think Altec and Bischu were kind of the two guys you really look for in that team, which is great because you have actually pretty much identical comparisons between those teams. When we talk about LMQ, it's usually Vasilii on AD carry and XiaoWeiXiao on mid lane. The exact same thing here for C9T with Altec on AD carry, Bischu in the mid. So I think both those matchups, can tilt the matchup really, really hard for either team. That's one to watch out in this best of 5.
I agree with that. But a lot of the times, you don't even target the strongest player. Like, you can target one of the weak links on a team. Like, Yazuki does not have the deepest of champion pools. If you take away Shyvana, which he keeps going back to, you want to see what else he's going to bring out. If you target someone else and maybe just lean a lot of pressure onto a different point, then you can have, your top laner carry or something like that.
Yeah, and it's interesting, actually, because as the series goes on, you actually learn more about the teams in kind of mid-series, right? So, for example, when we were watching the last series, we sort of realized that Mashmi was going to keep playing these hyper carry AD carries, and his Vayne and Twitch generally had a pretty good performance for his team overall. I think, both times he won, he was on a Vayne or a Twitch, something like that. But you talked about sort of banning people out and kind of limiting their pools and whatnot. You learn what people are good at throughout the series. If a certain champion's not working for them, they might stop picking it again. Just walking down the hall, I was hearing Complexity Black talk about the series, and Brokenshard was like, yeah, I played a really bad Kha'Zix game. I hadn't played him in so long because he's been banned all the time that I was really rusty on the champion. And until you test your opponent's champ pools and let him play Kha'Zix once or let him play Qi-Lin and he's not used to it, you'll see, oh, wow, really bad performance. Great, that's a ban we didn't think we had to... That's a ban we have freed up that we didn't think we had before.
Yeah, especially in a 5-game series that can go 5 hours like this.
Yeah.
You just ban out, towards the end, you just ban out what has actually been working.
Exactly.
Like, all the research you can do on what you think will work, but what they actually used to win in the previous games, that's what you usually get down to banning in the last couple games of the series.
Yeah, I know. One of my examples from the last series as well was the fact that Ziggs was banned, I think, in like 4 or 5 of the games, despite the fact that he wasn't even trying to pick it in the series against C9T. Of course, talking about Prolly in this one, but we are here. Cloud9 Tempest versus LMQ. Corki is the ban away. Vasilii's Qi-Lin also removed out. We'll see if he gets the chance to play Lucian as well in this one, but these teams very much targeting their AD carries champion pool.
Right, so LMQ, immediately, they're just banning out what was just used by Cloud9 with success. So going with the most recent success here, I like that, taking Corki off the field. And then Ziggs is always hard to deal with. If the enemy has Ziggs on their team, even if you're ahead, it's hard to close out that game.
Yeah.
And that's one of the places where, LMQ could see comebacks from other teams.
Yeah, I mean, LMQ is a team that gets ahead early and then tries to siege and close it out by 25 minutes. That's their go-to sort of standard is Qi-Lin or Lucian, grab a Nidalee or Orianna the mid lane, something with some range that can push people off turrets. And you get the wave clear and you're going to be okay with this one. So I like the ban away from the Ziggs. The Graves also dropped out, so 3 AD carry bans still here. Vasilii, I mean, Graves is not one we've seen very much, but that's going to get removed.
Yeah, this is fun. I want to delve deeper into the AD carry pool here because it's getting pretty shallow.
Yeah.
Already 4 bans. That's more AD carry bans than we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, so until the Lucian actually gets put up in there, it's not going to affect LMQ unless C9T is really trying to tunnel them onto a first pick Lucian and grab something else for themselves. Elise coming through, of course, Kha'Zix still open, all the mid laners aside from Ziggs still open as well. And of course, both these guys, huge Nidalee players.
Yeah. Something I have noticed about LMQ is they ban out Evelynn a lot, even if they are first pick. They really do not like playing against Evelynn, and they pretty much ban it all the time here. They are going to go with the first pick Kha'Zix, and it was a last ban AD carry, and they forego picking up that Lucian that you talked about.
Yeah, okay. So that's going to be interesting because that's just like the guy I'm thinking of when I think Vasilii. It's just Lucian K, Lucian K, Lucian K. There's a Lucian grab. Soraka picked up as well. 2 big priority champions. So 4 AD carries banned and 1 picked. We'll see what his champion pool does.
Interesting. So Lee Sin hover over. Usually I jump on that and be like, oh, it's probably going to be jungle Lee Sin, but probably going to be top lane here, especially since they've already locked in the Kha'Zix. He did play top lane Lee Sin previously as well, so good combo there. But the Soraka already feel like she's extremely strong right now. You have to need some sort of assassin like Yasuo or something in the mid lane to be able to take her out. Right now with heals, the heal summoner being changed to remove ignites and giving the move speed, she's so much stronger than she used to be. Already when she used to have barrier, she was a bully in that mid lane. But now with heal, it's still hard to kill her, even if you do have an ignite, even if you do bring the jungler.
Yeah, so it really depends what their mid laner pick ends up being here, because jungle Kha'Zix has some decent ganks. There's enough pressure to follow through that maybe they can take him out. The other thing that kind of stretches to my mind right now is the fact that we haven't really seen the jungle pools tested here. So we're talking about guys getting banned out. Okay, it's going to be Ezreal for Vasilii here, but also it means that Kess's Elise is going to be open and free if he wants to go for that, or is he going to pick up maybe a Feral Flare jungle like Zhao?
Yeah. I mean, Feral Flare, a little bit more late game oriented, so we'll have to see if they do that, because it does get thrown off a little bit by 2 vs 1s. Don't get as much time to stack up your charges and get to the Feral Flare upgrade later. But I'm still focused on this mid lane, what they're going to do about the Soraka, because you don't have to kill her. You can either do that, or you can go with something like Nidalee, and as long as XiaoWeiXiao is amazing at CSing under his turret, which he is, then you get past the point where it's hard for Soraka shoving him under the turret, and the Nidalee comes out huge in the late game. We've seen so many times.
Yeah, well, C9T, though, they don't look like the team that really wants to play hard engage anyway. It looks like more of a reactive defensive team. Soraka's in there, Morgana picked up as well. There's the Elise on top of that one. So even though they know it's pretty much guaranteed top lane Lee Sin, waiting a long time for Yazuki's pick up there, making sure they secure the rest of their lineup here, denying a support pick by having Morgana.
Yeah, interesting. Because, as I said before, Yazuki, I always think of Shyvana when I think of Yazuki. So if it is going to be something of a counter pick to Lee Sin and something different, that would definitely be a new plan here, I think, from Cloud9.
Yeah, he was a long-time player of that champion, but no, it's actually Orianna in the mid lane matchup. Actually, this one is a good matchup in the lane for Orianna. Her reach is far enough with the ball that you can push back on Soraka, so going for a laning phase there, plus Leona here for the support. So actually, it's LMQ that have a lot of aggression, especially early on.
Yeah, they do have long-range engage coming in here. I like the combo with Orianna and Kha'Zix as well, because he already is pretty tanky now with all the changes, and then he can easily get you into a good spot for a shockwave.
Yeah.
Talk about delivery systems. He is one of the best. Even if he's slightly in the wrong position, he can use his ulti for move speed buff and get somebody in there. So I do like the LMQ comp here, and I think it is going to be a pretty good early game for them, as you said.
So yeah, it looks like it's going to be the top lane Lee Sin. I don't see these guys swapping around much anymore. So Ezreal, Leona, the AD carry pool is tested. Vasilii going to have to play Ezreal in this one. Has played it before, actually still fits his style. Long-ranged, kitey, pokey, has skill shots, whatnot. So like, even with all those bans, he's not going to be far away from home.
I really like that combo, too. There's so much level 6 burst in this Leona plus Ezreal combo. It's something that St. Vicious was playing when he came in with Curse, you know, as a support, him and Cop. They didn't have a lot of time together, but they went back to this combo over and over and over because St. could just play sort of passively on it anyway until level 6. And then they have all this burst, they can make use of all the passive of everything and use that level 6 double ult combo to completely 100% one of their lane opponents.
And there's just so much burst with it. Actually, it's funny because this is a team that banned away Corki, who's like this big, like bursty AD carry, especially at 6. The Graves actually banned away by C9T. There's like a few of these guys who have this gigantic burst spike at 6 or, you know, around that level. And Ezreal one, that's kind of understated now. We see so much less of him, but he was one of the original sort of caster AD carries who can actually put a lot of magic damage burst out, win the lane before he's got any major damage output or any major damage items.
Yeah.
Also to point out, both these are going to be Trinity Force AD carries, so they're going to have their power spike fairly early on, but they're gonna spike at 2 items compared to someone like Caitlyn or someone like Tristana, which we don't see much of anyway, but that they're going to really turn on about 23 minutes in, and you can see a game snowball off the BT Triforce completion.
Yeah. I love how it's just the standard first item for all AD carries is Bloodthirster now. That's a given, and you only have to worry about what is going to be the second one for the change here. Now, both supports starting out with the single ward. That's been very, very common because of the randomness that everyone's complaining about with ward trinkets starting at 2 minutes. almost all the supports now are getting that extra gold, starting with at least one ward, so they can ward one of the buffs and then go for one of the invades.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting actually to continue a conversation. Actually, hold. Okay, I think everyone sees everyone, so they're going to back off. No, Ackerman is going for it. All right. Looks like LMQ is going to push C9T out of the territory. No, they do see Moore, so they know that Moore has a ward. So depending on if they see him again, they can know when he puts it down. But C9T look for a bit of a re-engage damage into XiaoWeiXiao's Orianna. They're just kind of firing while retreating right here, but looks like there will be ward control over C9T's red buff, and LMQ will back out.
I like this because C9T have no way of knowing if LMQ are staying in there or not. This is one of the tricks that we saw Lemon Dogs pull a long time ago, back when sports did start wards. You do the whole invade and recall from one of the bushes so that they have to be very wary of where the entire team is, even after them leaving.
Yeah, so LMQ, they're just going to move away to their standard lane assignments there. Looks like the whole pack was going to stay at the bottom lane, but that does pretty much guarantee AD support towards that side, with Ackerman holding teleport on Lucian, going to let himself get around the map. Looks like the same thing here for Cloud9 Tempest. They'll protect their blue buff. That's going to be safe, though. Their ward used defensively. LMQ actually will get spotted here.
They're going to go for the invade regardless.
Ooh. He can actually tell by the fact that the little lizards attacked that C9T was in that brush. So he just backs out. He can go for his own red buff. And of course, teleports top. Just sees, okay, that's where they started. Blue buff start, no big deal with the ward coverage. So yeah, one of the things I was going to talk about in the pregame, if I remember properly, yeah. So one of the things that changes now, because a lot of these supports are starting with one ward, is they're basically got 2 less potions, which actually increases the value of poke supports. It's easier to remove these support by poking them out of the lane. And I'm wondering, like, I know we're still seeing Karma fairly often now anyway, and a bit of Lulu support as well, these 2 big poke supports, but that's a relative increase in power for them.
Yeah, not only that, but also with the changes to the lifesteal runes, AD carries have a lot less sustain here too. So exchanges in the bottom lane have become a lot more important. But it also means that if you take any sort of damage, you have to worry about all-ins from champions like Leona.
You do. It's actually interesting. I was informed that Vasilii is actually running lifesteal Quints anyway in this one, even though it's a pretty significant damage drop to not run them in the attack speed Quints. He's still going for like the old school build, Armor Seals, Lifesteal Quints. Can just sustain up in this lane, because hey, Morgana might puddle him. And things like that'll happen. He'll take damage from Lucian.
And they're very happy that they did get the level 2 shove here with the Leona lane, using the execute. And as you said, since he's running lifesteal runes, he'll be able to sustain, keep up this siege at the turret, and test Altec's ability to CS under his turret.
So far it's 19-8, so I gotta say the early lead definitely going LMQ's favor. Up in the top lane, Yazuki versus Ackerman, 15-15 basically.
So Altec not doing that well on the test then, huh?
No. He's getting 50% basically, that's an F.
That is definitely an F. All right,
12.
They might call in some jungle support there though. Elise does like to do the white camp fairly often. Easy rotation could be made down bottom, but it looks like he will do hard farm, and more attention going to be paid to mid. Something that a lot of mid laners, with all the 2v1 swaps, they haven't been paying as much attention to early jungle ganks.
Well, the flash shove, there's a Cocoon on the backside. NoName taking a whole bunch of damage down to 100 health. He stays and goes down. The trade kill back to Bischu though. Kez looks like he's going to stay around for this one. Damage and a XiaoWeiXiao. The kill did go to the LMQ mid laner, but first blood to C9T.
And it is going to be a renewal of double buffs here for Kez. So the only thing really that we have to remember is that XiaoWeiXiao still has his flash, whereas Bischu has no summoners at all now. And he was only able to pick up 1 ward, so he can't ward both sides himself. Might see repeat ganks in the middle.
Yeah, we'll see what plays out with this one. So far, just level 4 top laners, though. These guys, I guess it is a bit of a lead for Ackerman. The early pushing is working out. His teleport's on cooldown for 1 more wave, but that's going to leave him exposed to Kez right now. He has Safeguard. He has Flash.
He still has his health. He still has his health potion as well. Probably want to start chugging that one as soon as he sees the gank coming. Should start chugging his health potion.
Yeah, well, he's safe. He flashed the Cocoon though. Now, when will the Safeguard come up? He does not have a trinket, but he does have the Q to the double golem. Trinket's coming up in about 10 seconds. Ackerman still playing the jungle.
Interesting route he chose to go on here, because now it's going to be very difficult for him to get out alive.
Oh, he's buying a lot of time, though. Yazuki's going to spot him out. The slow comes through as well. Kez will eventually make his way over, but Ackerman, 3 seconds on the safeguard. Still running around through the ward. And he's going to teleport back to the top lane. Cocoon doesn't reach. Ackerman outplays the gank.
That was so close to him catching
Vasilii really close to death, though. One summoner he'll use flashing away from the range. Ignite onto Altec. He's burning low. He's going to lifesteal a little bit off some minions, getting the 3 health from Butcher. And these XiaoWeiXiao Bischu with a bit of a trade. NoName showing back up at Kez. Already here. Level 5 on Elise. The Cocoon, the bind. It's going to catch Altec. Doesn't even matter. Kill picked up there for more. LMQ in the bottom lane.
All right, and that was even before level 6 here. So Vasilii's going to hit level 6 before Altec. It's going to be a very, very uphill battle. All 4 summoner spells down for Cloud9 Tempest in the bottom lane. I would expect some more action down there if LMQ have their say in it.
I mean, yeah, they're 52 to 33 in minions. You're going to have a gigantic item lead for Vasilii here. I mean, he's got, what, 200, 400 extra gold from minions, plus another 150 for the assist. Like, he's not far from BF Sword right now. He's basically a wave away from getting to recall and get this. It actually might be this time right here. And that's going to be another big bully lead. I mean, there is an AD ratio on his ultimate. Yeah, 1,700 gold. He's going to have that, plus potions. At level 6, he's going to have a really good all-in.
So, even though the level 1 invades from LMQ, they didn't get much done with it, the AD and support did help with the blue for Cloud9 Tempest, and they stay there a bit longer. So Ezreal and Leona got to go to the lane first, start shoving it, and kind of snowball that early lead.
Yeah. It worked really well for him, honestly. They're continuing to push to the edge. Actually, Phage is the item picked up there for Vasilii, not BS, or not really Bloodthirster, most likely. But a lot of extra mana for the Sapphire Crystal. We'll see if that pays out. Kez does hit level 6 at a pretty good clip. 26 minions on him. Does have the, for what it's worth, rank 2 ultimate available on Elise. So he's farming well, but that's kind of the only lane that's going swimmingly now for Cloud9 Tempest is just their jungler. He's got to salvage these lanes.
This is going to be difficult for him, but it looks like he's going to go contest the second blue, has the, or second red, does have the timer on it, and just by dropping a ward, scares NoName off of his own red buff.
Be enough for him for now. Ackerman, though, look at this. Already he's trying to steal away the red buff. He's going to get spotted out by Yazuki, but not sure if it's going to matter too much. Has safeguard available. Jumps over really safely. Looks like, by the way, for the Lee Sin, 2 points W, 2 points E. So he's splitting the points between safeguard and Tempest. Just to keep that in mind. XiaoWeiXiao is actually maxing command dissonance on Orianna. I know some mid laners max attack. Former mid laner for TPA Toys used to. The Q, but XiaoWeiXiao is going with the W in this one. Bischu doing the standard thing, taking harass. As per normal, I'm pretty sure he's maxing the star call. You can see the damage pretty decent there.
I think the most interesting thing about this game so far was that the level 1, because a lot of the LCS teams that we've been talking to were complaining about being on red side. Oh, we always have to go for an invade when we're on red side because we're so scared of the blue team doing an invade on our red side, and there's no way of knowing it. But Cloud9 Tempest, they defended their blue instead. They didn't go for an invade.
Yeah.
And it was LMQ that were able to get that bottom lane shoved because of it. And now the bottom lane is probably the biggest point of power for them.
Cocoon lands on Ackerman, though, and he gets executed. I love that. The Dragon ulti guaranteed, no safeguard or anything for Lee Sin. Dodged it, like pushed him into the Cocoon. That was really awesome coordination.
All right, so yeah, bottom lane is the power for LMQ. Top lane looks like it might be the point here for Cloud9 Tempest that they want to rely on. That actually caught him up in CS as well. So Yazuki was able to catch back up by shoving the lane after.
Yeah,
and,
definitely a big lead.
Ackerman's going to have to do his, use his teleport. Up to the turret though. Very popular summoner spell now.
And it's going to be Tiamat versus the makings of Sunfire here. So Yazuki not rushing the damage build. Just going to weather the storm against Ackerman. It's pretty much par for the course. LMQ did try their all-in right around level 6, but with the reaction time of Gleebglarbu, he managed to spell shield the Q stun, and that allowed Altec to dodge the ulti out from Ezreal. But NoName waiting in the wings. C9T, they've got to be careful. They are pretty much in gank range.
So what they want to do right now, LMQ, is get the Black Shield down, then they can use Solar Flare.
But here comes Elise. There's a teleport as well. Of course, Yazuki has his, but Ackerman does not. More flash, but he's still in range. Stun's going to come down. Yazuki finds a kill. Some good damage from Kez. NoName forced to ulti away. Good fight for C9T. And will they Dragon or will they Turret?
Probably go for the Dragon here. It's hard to even take the Turret because there will be 2 people defending. Now, this is what happens when you go to the source of the global. Cloud9 Tempest, their jungler, Kez, ganks up top lane, makes them, not only do they get a successful gank, but also burns the global threat of that teleport by going to the source of it, and then that allows, his gank up top allows a gank down bottom by Yazuki, giving them the Dragon. The question is, though, is that enough time for Ackerman to get the top turret? Looks like it will be an answer. So it's not like a huge objective gain for Cloud9 Tempest, just a trade.
Yeah, just the +1 kill, otherwise the trade, that turret's going to be gone. We'll see which team can use the fact this turret is dead for an advantage. Looks like Yazuki will look for a bit of a flank on Lucian. Shocker's going to land on a Bischu, down to half HP. Damage took him for XiaoWeiXiao. He does not look for another trade, but gets the health bar a bit low. And once again, Soraka forced the last hit under turret, down 20 CS.
Both junglers going to be called in there too. All right, here's the combo.
Good damage comes through. Altec a bit low on health. The flash in from Vasilii. Can he get the rest of his damage? Glebe tries to block the Q. Looks like he will, but the ulti comes in. Altec flashes, keeps alive. Gleebglarbu a bit low. More. Keeps stoning him away. Binding won't land. Still has summoner spells burned.
Bottom lane, they're going to retain control as well. CS going to remain in their favor. Will they shove it down? Yes, they're not trying to freeze it at all. Going to try and get that turret down. That would be 2 outer turrets, and they could start putting up wards in the jungle, start counter-jungling, get to that mid-game power that they really like.
Dragon form comes across. Ackerman a bit under fire right here. Yazuki looking for the attention with this one. Nice jump in by Kez, keeps him in range despite the kickback. Now the flash is going to dodge Cocoon. Ackerman is safe, but loses the summoner. Another fight in the mid lane though. Bischu taking some good damage. XiaoWeiXiao staying for this one. He does have Ignite up. Doesn't go for the all-in.
Plus he's almost 30 CS up on Bischu in the mid lane. So XiaoWeiXiao again showing his dominance in the mid lane.
Ulti comes in from More, the dive in towards Bischu. He flashed away, keep himself alive. More now rooted up underneath the turret, has almost nowhere to go. Oh my gosh, the Morgana ulti comes by. More is going to go down. Bischu with the kill credit. LMQ bit off more than they could chew.
Yeah, overextension right there in between the turrets. They thought they could get the Soraka. Best champion at baiting.
Yeah.
Probably in the game.
3 heals and the flash, the black shield also helping with that one. That's a team with multiple supports, and you can see why that's effective. Stop the dives rather successfully. That's multiple now great ultis by Gleebglarbu. He managed to not steal the kills away and going actually towards what I believe is this is actually a player who rushed Spooky Ghosts many times in Morgana, so we might see Twin Shadows come out.
Interesting. A lot of different choices with Morgana. Uh-oh. Vasilii's going to chase him off that pink ward. But yeah, Morgana, so many options with the support Morgana. A lot of times it's very hard to get to Azanya's, so many of them will even forego getting that item ever and just try and get the normal support items like the Crucible and like the auras to help out their team. But if you can get it towards that late game, she performs a very similar role to what a mid lane Morgana would do. You can get most of the effectiveness out of it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where the build ends up going with this one. One thing I guess to keep in mind with mid versus support Morgana is that support Morgana actually maxes Black Shield second. And I believe that's actually the last skill to max for mid Morgana back in the day. So I guess you can kind of consider the difference in AP, the difference in skill order. And you can see damage now going into Vasilii though, down very low. Force a dump back for Altec though with the ulti in. It's going to get blocked a little bit and he's going to turn off the ultimate to get the last few attacks in. That's going to be a kill picked up. Moore is going to be running away from this one. Kez late to the party, but kill for C9T.
This is one of the reasons why we talked about Bischu and Altec being the 2 points for Cloud9 Tempest you have to be really worried about.
And it's working. You even got Kez though. I think everyone on C9T that was stepping up around these players. Those two had the best series yesterday, but I gotta say, I think everyone's putting in really good work right now. Bottom lane turret's going to be going down. C9T equalized that score. They're up their dragon. NoName looks for the engage here. The jump in. He's gonna get the shotgun if he wants it. There's no flash available with the silence. The shotgun comes in anyway though from Bischu. He tries to heal himself. Not gonna be enough. XiaoWeiXiao gets the kill credit. Great assassination right there.
Yeah, that's that invisible ball delivery system that we talk about in Champion Select. Works great for ganks too. Don't have to wait for team fights. Ah, double effectiveness out of that one. Get the minions as well as stop Altec's back.
Absolutely. Well, he didn't let more or less hit that. He had a charge. Didn't even go for it. Scumbag Vasilii.
That's money down the drain there, too.
Yeah. He's just taxing his support for no reason. All right, gets a melee minion. Not as bad, but could have been better. Mid lane still under fire. Kez forced to hold this lane. I gotta say, despite the fact that C9T holds a gold lead, LMQ are still finding places to make moves. The dives mid, everywhere.
It's about to be answered right here with Vasilii's bottom turret.
True.
So it's pretty much the even game, moving towards the mid game here. Altec has been able to complete his Bloodthirster. Most important item for AD carries. Vasilii actually rushing for that Trinity Force first, not even going first item Bloodthirster here.
Well, that was his build. He actually went Lifesteal Quints, and with that, if you go Lifesteal Quints, you can give that build up. And that's actually one thing that I want to see if AD carries actually move on towards is if you have Sustain somewhere else, can you rush Ayad? It's a big DPS increase if you can, or just a non-Bloodthirster item in general. But yeah, Triforce done now, 16.5 minutes in, pretty quick clip for him. Bloodthirster, of course, already done and stacking up here for Altec. We'll see how these items continue to scale. We'll see whether their builds end up taking them soon. C9T on top of wards. Cocoon lands on a NoName. Good Dark Binding as well, but he leaps over the wall safely. He's going to be all right with this one.
Those wards are very, very popular nowadays because of the picks that you can get standing in that river. So many people walk over this little bridge right here by the Wraith camp. So it's probably the most popular spot for picking people off.
Yeah, and some damage on more. The jump out of NoName, not a big deal, unfortunately, for them. Altec don't want to duel with Vasilii, but remember, Triforce is done. It's going to be some big damage for Ezreal. Jumps forward. They're trying to trade blows back and forth. The Wish coming by as well. So many heals. In comes the jump, the flash, I believe, the spell shield, everything. Gleebglarbu gets the kill on that one, but double summoners burn from Morgana.
Oh, AD carries with all the heals, and Bischu adds his from the mid lane. There's the teleport from Yazuki. Trying to time this one with Dragon. I guess that solo kill, the duel down bottom, is going to turn into an objective. And they'll have to send somebody back immediately after they take the Dragon. Oh, NoName wants the steal!
He pops the ult, he's buying time, flashes out. Can't get back in. Nice attempt.
So he makes him drop the pink ward, though. But yeah, they're going to need to send somebody back as quickly as possible to defend that top turret. Ackerman with his Tiamat is shoving very quickly. This is actually the same build that he runs on Renekton. Tiamat into defensive items straight after.
Yeah. I think it's the right way to do it, though. I feel like Hydra is often really greedy. And especially with someone like Lucian or Renekton, where you've got Sustain in your kit, you don't need the extra lifesteal necessarily. We're going to see Yazuki forcing Ackerman away. Goes to Dragon form, though. Flash and kick are available. Yazuki's in front. Meaning the kick won't send him the right way. The flash kick comes in, keeping Ackerman safe. Like he's Guile.
Like that little move. Yeah, so talking about the build again, the cowl is really important against Shyvana because she does so much magic damage. She has not gone with the Blade of the Ruined King early. So she's almost all magic damage, and they're little ticks of magic damage. So you get that regen all the time.
Yeah, the regen I feel like is super understated on Spectre's cowl, but it's such a good laning item against magic damage.
Because she's not, Shyvana's a magic damage champion, but she's not a burst magic damage champion.
Not really, no. Not so much. It's going to be a lot of consistent damage output there. The wave clear, the pushing much better now for Bischu's Soraka there, without a blue buff for now, but you know, again, he talked about it in the pregame video. He never got a blue buff in their finals in Spring 2, but here they're having a much better time at this one. The jungle under control. Other blue goes to Bischu, speak of the devil. He's having a pretty good time. He's still down 50 minions, to be fair. I gotta say, XiaoWeiXiao is putting on a clinic with CS, but this is a player who often takes Wraiths, who's gonna get a big lead because of that.
Yeah, the two matchups that we highlighted, the XiaoWeiXiao mid versus Bischu, and then the bottom one, have been extremely exciting here because there was a lot of attention paid mid with junglers. And then meanwhile, down bottom, we just saw Altec and Vasilii dueling it out. And the victor gets the dragon for that one, too.
Wow, some pretty big damage on Ezreal. Silence prevents the Arcane Shift away, but he's going to go back for the poke right here. Relies on his support to keep himself safe. Looks like Vasilii shows no fear. Of course, no other rotations are noted. Just going to be the teams walking back into the back lines to hold on to the mid lane. Some more good poke. Binding's going to be dodged. More poke coming in. Vasilii, honestly, just constantly looking for damage.
Now, Soraka is going to enable Cloud9 Tempest to siege a bit longer here, though. You can see Vasilii got chunked out, and even though XiaoWeiXiao has shields that he will have to use reactively, there's no way to sustain Vasilii without letting him go lifesteal off something. So the extended siege from Cloud9 going to come in on the mid turret, and they can slowly whittle it down.
Here it begins. Bloodthirster Lucian pretty much fully stacked at this point for sure. Down to half HP. Binding lands on a more Cocoon as well. Big damage comes through. Can't cast a spell, but a 3-man Shockwave might just answer. Ezreal comes by. Yazuki is safe. Wish used just in case by Soraka. There's Ackerman on the wings. Kez a bit low. Has to flash away from NoName, losing even more health though. He's got to run away. Vasilii finds the shutdown, but the kill back on a NoName. Gleebglarbu does not stay around too long. Ackerman does get stunned. Vasilii now on the runaway. He's going to allow the team to disengage. Red buff slow is actually rather effective. Gonna put some damage on C9T on the way back. Ackerman now to counter back towards the mid lane, and LMQ actually rewarded with the mid lane turret.
Yeah, that was a great shockwave from XiaoWeiXiao to get the momentum back in their favor, but
keeps Glebe alive, but they find a kill back. They're still going for it. XiaoWeiXiao now forced to run, does not have flash. Ackerman in the back lines, Bischu with the heal, keeps himself alive. Ackerman ward jumps to safety. 3 for 1 for a turret for LMQ.
Was that an arcane shift forward into the face of danger?
Yes, it was.
Silly. He got a Glebe binding to the face.
Yeah, that was a little bit silly. Guess he picked that name for a reason.
I was hoping you'd go that direction.
Yeah,
all right.
You got me with Sheep, you got me with Vasilii. What else you got? You got
right.
more?
Let's take a look at it again, because Moore actually is going to get a binding again here a little bit later. But yeah, Vasilii arcane shifts straight forward into the binding from Glebe. He was almost able to burst him down. Got him very, very low, but not quite. Ackerman in the duel with Soraka has to run away after he sees the armor buff on her.
Ackerman now in
Again,
danger.
has to run away.
Cocoon, but a great 2-man kick. Gonna dash to a mini. Repel's coming up. Kez still chasing. Red buff on Yazuki, but he's not in range for that just yet. Some damage comes through. In comes NoName for the counterattack. Q is big damage though. It's gonna force C9T to give respect.
All right, so mid-game getting pretty exciting here. Next Dragon fight, 1 minute 20 seconds. We will have both teleports for it. Last time we didn't really get to see the team fight around Dragon because of the duel between the AD carries. So if he never mind, he's gonna keep on arcane shifting forward. So that might happen once again.
Yeah, the Soraka armor buff is enough to keep him from taking too much damage. Vasilii actually going for Ruin King on his Ezreal. Interesting, another slight variation of the builds there. It's actually some pretty good poke power. Very kiteable. He's very self-reliant with a build like this, can get away from most threats in the front line. So Yazuki will have a very hard time dealing with him. We get to that stage in team fights where he's got to deal with him by himself. Sweeper used to hold the mid lane, and to take stock of this game, we're 23 minutes in. C9T, the underdogs, this matchup by a lot. LMQ's only lost a single game in the Challenger Series, let alone a best of 3 or best of 5. But C9T holding a 2,000 gold lead so far into the mid game.
The thing about C19's comp, though, they rely pretty heavily on the skill shots landing for their hard CC. They don't have any guaranteed hard CC going for them. But the bindings have been on point, the cocoons have been on point, so it doesn't matter.
Gonna find NoName for this one. Can they keep him in the danger? They will. He's gonna get stunned up, but he's still stealth. Now Kez getting the engage, losing most of his health. I don't know if he has anywhere to go. Ignite is on 7. Heal comes by. The solar flare hits, but so does the Wish. Altec in a battle with Vasilii. Kill goes through to Kez, but the kill back for Altec. Gets the assist thanks to the Wish, of course, on that one. But a 1-for-1 on the map.
So up top, or up in mid, it was Kez who went down eventually. So this time around, we saw the AD carry duel right before Dragon. Again, Altec comes out on top, but the jungler's down, so they can't take it. No smite available.
Yeah, Vasilii, despite the lane lead early on, 1-4-1 in this game. Teleport comes in for Elise. Actually, the same for Shyvana. Both teams saying, hey, you know, Dragon's up. 4v4 for this. Jungler's back alive. AD carry for LMQ back alive. Here we go.
Yeah, Altec is definitely having the advantage in the 1v1 duels. However, they're not truly 1v1 because a lot of the times he's getting Soraka heals. There's extra heals coming in. Not quite a fair fight between the two.
That's how you play the globals, man. They just stick around and say, hey, press R at some point.
He wants to go for the steal again here? No, not going to be able to.
Just a blind Q. Wasn't even the jungler.
Yeah, exactly.
Wanted the like 112 damage you get out of that one. It's probably rank 1 Q. It's the standard build for top lane Lee Sin. Blue buff once again to Bischu. I don't think he's lost one all game, actually, so.
No, he hasn't lost blue buff. However, XiaoWeiXiao is just destroying him in CS here. Already completed the death cap. Yeah. So high impact shockwaves aplenty here for LMQ. Unfortunate for them that they won't get that fight around Dragon. because they really have a pretty strong team fight. I mean, everybody is very mobile, so they can really kind of close Cloud9 in, and then if they save Shockwave for a very good Shockwave mid fight, then they can clean up pretty easily, even though they are behind in gold.
Yeah, when you speak about gold, I want to touch on items real quick because the basically Elise core is done now for Kez. Sorkshu's Haunting Guy's Ancient Golem, so this is pretty much the squishiest point for Elise right now, where this is right before she starts actually building real tank items. So you talk about a mid-fight Shockwave cleaning things up. We've seen how fast Kez dies when he gets caught out here, so it's going to be a bit of a battle for Elise about how well she can get the damage in versus getting caught out. Start of the game 2-0-1 is now 3-2-1. So
he does have to play pretty careful. That's one of the drawbacks of going with that penetration build that you mentioned. He's got a lot of damage for burst damage.
Oh wow, Moore's getting destroyed right now by Baron.
Those skill shots there
Dark
from
Binding
Cloud9
Cocoon.
Tempest.
Yeah,
landing
he's
over
off the map.
and over. But yeah, what was I talking about?
Elise being very squishy, risky build.
Oh yeah, he's got his burst is really strong because of it right now. But he is very squishy in return, so he'd much rather be picking people off, going for small fights, small duels, where he can burst someone out and make them play more defensive rather than have to build more tank.
Yeah, well, see if they can find this one. Riley's is done. Going to be a Randuin soon for Bischu. Of course, LMQ, very physical damage heavy. They'll get some from Orianna, a little bit from Leona.
Oh yeah, they'll get a lot from Orianna here. XiaoWeiXiao's got the trifecta for mid laners already. 27 minutes in, and he's got the 3 main items that you want.
Yeah.
So he's got plenty of magic damage coming from LMQ. You
can see 330 minions by 27 minutes. I actually wanted to see when the 300 mark was. I didn't quite track that, but that had to be like 25, 24 minutes in. It's a pretty quick clip.
And it's not like it's costing NoName a lot of CS either.
Yeah.
So
you can see, like, no one's CS really suffering this game.
Can't really blame him for stealing away jungle camps. All right, the vision is pretty equal here too. So this game definitely more balanced than the scoreboard says. Vasilii does dodge one binding, but he doesn't dodge the cocoon.
Oh man, he goes right down. The Mikhails didn't actually catch him in time of this one. The re-engage, so Gleeb forced to flash away. C9T, they're gonna find a binding onto Moore. The engage comes in, the support though. It's a tanky one. Flash over the wall though. In comes Yazuki and Kez. Big damage comes through. Randuin popped as well. 2 kills so far in the fight. 2-man shock gigantic from XiaoWeiXiao. Can LMQ clean any back up? Looks like not. 2, 3, 4 kills now in the fight for Cloud9 Tempest. 14-5. Ackerman the only one alive. He's gonna force back. C9T look for Baron.
This could very easily be Baron for them. It's gonna have to be a miracle move from Ackerman. He doesn't even want to go for it though. Great job here by Cloud9 Tempest. I have to say though, it is in large part due to Vasilii's missteps. He can make up for it all right here though. No.
It was about as well timed as it could be.
Pretty good shot.
When he respawned.
Yeah, but Vasilii's been playing very dangerously and getting burned for it time after time again. He's going full Lomo Nation style here. He gets caught up by the entire 3-man combo there from Cloud9 Tempest, and that's going to be a 1-team fight for them.
Solar Flare whiff too. The bottom lane actually of LMQ in general.
Yeah, it was basically a great Black Shield there from Gleebglarbu as well to turn this one around. And then Yazuki coming in. Even though the Shockwave is gigantic, Bischu's there with the heals, keeps everyone up long enough for Altec to come.
Yeah, the heal from Soraka there clutch to keep Yazuki alive in that fight. And you know, talk about this. C9T spent, oh god, Vasilii. He's in a bad spot.
Vasilii, please, no!
Cocoon, he's down. C9T spent all 3 bans and then grabbed Lucian first rotation.
Yeah.
Attacked Vasilii's champion pool very hard on an Ezreal champion who's supposed to be very safe, who's building safely with Triforce Ruin King. He's not having a good show.
He's going with the Wung style arcane shift in forward, but he didn't build the Randuins like Wung does.
Yeah. Or play Graves.
He's not tanky.
No, he is not. So it's going to be some damage now to mid lane turret number 2, 29 minutes. C9T hold on to a commanding 9,000 gold lead. They now push in the back door, the inhibitor turret as well. Teleport comes in from Ackerman. He just gets exploded at the very start. Way too greedy on the TP. LMQ Losing a lot of kills.
Yeah, they're going to get this inhibitor turret already.
The overextension, though, they get 1 kill back. The turret falls down. They'll see if any more kills come across. No, just a 2 for 0. The heals from Soraka keeping the team alive. C9T refused to go down here.
All right, they've got the inhibitor. Great move. Another arcane shift forward. He's got to be careful. Altec wants to make him pay.
He's got the shield, lands the Q. Dark bonding for fun. Yep. Wow. Yeah, culling.
Vasilii, please.
All
right.
Wow.
So, you mentioned how many bans there were against Vasilii. And then they also took away Lucian early.
Yeah.
You gotta wonder, how long has it been since he has played Ezreal?
Dunno. Season 3?
Yeah, probably. Maybe too long is the answer here. NoName jumping right in, trying to get off the combo, but they get the turret and they claim the bug life. Able to get the inhibitor off of the back of this one too. They get another kill here? No.
Go to got the first 2. Nearly got Vasilii. So Yazuki 507 on Shyvana. Pipe to play pretty tanky overall. Stops at just the Cutlass. That's enough tracking for him.
If I was LMQ, I'd probably target Yazuki, like I said, with the bans, just because I haven't really seen people put pressure on his pool.
Yeah.
To see what else he has to pull out. Yeah. But I really do like this matchup, though. Yazuki actually changed his name on live to Low Mo Nation.
Yes, he did.
Because that's Vasilii's one-liner right there.
Yeah.
And I really like Lomo Nation specifically just because it sounds like what the fans of LMQ would call themselves. Like Raider fans from the Bay Area are like Raider Nation. Lomo Nation is like the hashtag that all the LMQ fans would use when they make good plays.
Are 49er fans gold diggers? Probably not.
No.
I'm from the Bay Area. I don't even know what Niners fans call themselves.
All right. Well, Lomo Nation gets himself out alive. Yazuki escapes and affords his team top lane pressure. Able to get down 1 turret and should probably be able to roll into 2 pretty easily here.
Yep.
Map control is definitely going to collapse very quickly for LMQ. C9T going to start putting up more wards as well.
Looks like the contest now for the inhibitor turret top lane. Yazuki happy to chill on the complete opposite side of the map of his team. It's like, you know what?
Whoa!
Vasilii! Playing full Vasilii style. Going and Gleebglarbu down the front lines. Puts the ulti down to massive shockwave. But the wish keeps the team alive. The fight still goes on. More is going to lose all of his HP. The fight's still going on. Kez the front lines. He's a bit tankier now as well with the Rand to his Omen. Kez has to run away. Ackerman about to go down. Altec finds another kill for himself. He's now dominating 6, 1, and 7 on him. Inhibitor under fire. Another 2 for 0.
Wow, LMQ trying to end it in style though there. That was Vasilii going full Lomo Nation. Trying to draw them in, and it kind of worked, grouping them up for the shockwave and then Ezreal ulti, but
wow,
not quite.
1v2, no! Vasilii finally gets a kill with the offensive arcane shift. The teleport in, the flash from Yazuki, that's going to be enough for him. That's going to be another inhibitor going down now. Now the push in for the Nexus turret's going to be big damage coming through. Looks like the team's going to be enough. XiaoWeiXiao alone to defend, not going to have much of a chance here. Down he goes. Now more here for the defense. There are still 2 Nexus turrets up. It's a slow grind without an AD carry, trying to kill these off. The minions likely to be enough. Turret number 2 going down, and Cloud9 Tempest in the grand final best of 5. Take the 2nd game ever off LMQ.
All right, yeah, come out with a strategy. They target Vasilii, they make him play Ezreal, and it works 100%. Now, thing is, even though Soraka didn't have a big laning phase impact, and she didn't win her lane, you know, XiaoWeiXiao was able to do it here very well.
Sure.
The global heals were definitely a factor in that.
Yeah.
They snowballed Altec very well.
The entire mid game was like close fight after close fight that got turned by Wish, or a dive that got baited by a summoner heal and a black shield. So many of those turned the mid game around.
Gotta wonder,
are
they actually going to ban out that Soraka, or focus on getting Vasilii something he's more comfortable with? You know, maybe do something about Altec.
Yeah, and that's the thing is actually, I'm thinking about what you kind of do with this one, because I think you can focus on Altec and remove some of his champion pool as well. You saw the Corki ban. You could add 1 more, remove more stuff from that. But I think this gives such a big boost of confidence to C9T, because they didn't ban a single other champion. Top laner, jungler, mid laner support got whatever they wanted the entire way through the pool, and none of them had a major impact. You had jungle Kha'Zix, the top tier jungler. Top laner Renekton, the top lane top laner. didn't even matter for these guys. The fact that C9T held lanes everywhere, and then they succeeded with their ban strategy picking on someone, that just says, okay, well, plan number 1 worked. And I feel like the rest of these plans are going to look good as well.
Yeah. Really, the story, I had to say, is probably the duels between Vasilii and Altec.
Yeah.
That started off giving a couple dragons that early global gold there, going for Cloud9. LMQ's definitely going to have to switch up something there.
Yeah, and it really was just those little close things. And some of it was just the fact that someone rotated down. So certainly reacting to the fact that Soraka's there is a big deal. Obviously, the Wish was a big impact. One was a flash summoner heal from Gleeb's Morgana, though, which I thought was great. He was like, I will save you, and he's like trying to stretch out and reach with the D key and hit him with it.
The fights between the AD carries had more heals than I've ever seen in League of Legends before.
It's true.
AD carries just have all these different kinds of heals because they take summoner heal, their support takes summoner heal, and they have Soraka on their team. They're just everywhere. Green lights.
Health bars are up, keeping them nice and healthy. I mean, those are normally the targets. And I'm wondering, actually, then, what this means for LMQ's mental health, because we started criticizing Vasilii. No, I'm serious, though. And I don't mean that insulting,
you can question his mental health after the last one.
Yeah, because he's like arcane shifting in. Like the one at the end where he jumps in on top of the team at the dead tier 2 turret.
Cool. I like that one.
I mean, so, okay, to be fair, it baited the 5-man shockwave. So in this weird, perverse, like thinking 3 steps ahead forward way that was genius, but they were too far behind in gold. But it's like, if he gets down 3 kills, is he just going to like go ham all the time and throw more kills away? Like, is Vasilii already affected, like, losing game 1? Like, that's a real consideration.
He's got that wild turtle syndrome.
Yeah.
Gets bored.
He's got to carry plans. I've been dead too much. Better dive. I'm bored of this one. Actually, so to break us into this one, I actually do have a replay of one of the C9T's fights. They get a 3 kills on LMQ. We can pull that one up here.
C9T's?
Yeah.
Is that the next Cloud9 team that's going to come?
T's?
All right, so they get the turret. Is this going to be a dive? Oh, no! This is the teleport in from Ackerman by himself. Even with the cocoon being on the wrong side and being a little early, so much damage there. Altec does not hesitate. I think they really have to worry about Altec. Maybe it's just going to be more jungle pressure that comes in, because I don't think you can deal with Altec in pick stands. Even with all these AD carries being banned out, I think they're actually going to have to do something about it as far as the early gameplay.
Yeah, and I'm also kind of surprised that when I'm looking at this team fight, I realize there's a gold lead at this point, which makes it a very big deal that once you've got more levels, you have more health, maybe more MR from your runes and whatnot. How much that actually LMQ got a little bit out-comped. Now, I know when we talked to Voiboy, he talked about Soraka yesterday, and he's like, well, if you run Soraka, it's really snowbally. If you get behind, you kind of just fall flat. If you get ahead, you can just survive everything. But it was like a like mid-tier AoE comp of just Leona, Orianna, Ezreal, which just gets beat by Wish. And then you've got no burst damage left over. And I'm wondering if they tilted a little bit higher towards AoE, another AoE damage champion in there, or something with a little bit more damage on that one, if they could tilt all the way over for that one.
Yeah. I mean, LMQ didn't look like focused like they usually look there. The game plan, they looked like they were kind of winging it for this one.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they underestimated him. They 2'd him so hard last time. Maybe that was part of the plan here. Now, of course, guys, after that surprising game 1 in the books, we're going to have to take a quick break. But we're going to come back with game 2 between Cloud9 Tempest and LMQ. Plus, we're going to be joined by Cloud9 mid laner High here at the desk. Stick around.